Hi, welcome to another episode of the Paige Doodle Club. Today we are going to draw a cartoonish fire truck. If you would like to make yours a more realistic life-size fire truck, any of the horizontal lines that I'm making going down the length of the truck, just make them a little bit longer than I do. And parents, join in the fun. Don't let your kids have all the fun. Don't forget the joy of doodling when you were a kid. Maybe you were bored in class or whatever. Join in, have some fun. Let's get right to it. To start our fire truck, I'm going to start with the windshield. I'm going to make this fire truck, rather than making it really wide, a long fire truck, I'm going to kind of cartoonize it and make it a little squattier looking. If you want yours to be a full-size long fire truck, just all the lines that I make going across, just make them longer than I'm making them. So I'm starting with this will be the windshield right here. And then I'm going to go straight down for the grill area of the truck. And next I'm going to make the top of the cab of the truck. Again, if you want yours to be a full-size fire truck, I would say make this line probably almost twice as long as I just did. But again, I'm going to make mine kind of cartoonish. Then I'm going to round down right here, like that. And then I'm going to make the windshield, which will just be kind of a triangle filling this space right here. And I'm rounding the edges of that slightly. Then I'm going to make a line coming like this, right underneath that. And I'm going to round it up and over until I meet the back of my cab. And I need a couple more windows in this space, so I'm going to make them follow along the overall shape. So the tops of the windows are going to be filling in right in here. And the bottoms will just run parallel to that curve that we just made. So this window is going to go like this and go up. Now, if you live with a 4 or 5-year-old, I can just about guarantee that they will be correcting my drawing as I go. 4 and 5-year-old kids tend to be experts on fire trucks and police cars. So if you live with a 4 or 5-year-old, whatever they tell you, if they're disagreeing with what I'm doing, if they're saying something else, trust them, they're probably right. So now I'm going to make this rectangle coming back. I'm not going to bring it quite all the way to the back of the cab. Next, I'm going to make the top part of the back of the truck. Again, if you want yours to be a full-size truck, make it a lot longer than that. I'm almost making mine like a Volkswagen microbus version of a fire truck. So I've curved down like that. Right now, these lines coming down are roughly coming to the same spot. Eventually we'll want them having the same bottom line. I'm going to make a rounded rectangle for the front bumper. And on a fire truck, that'll be nice shiny chrome. So maybe we'll put the shadow on the curve of it. Then I'm going to make the wheel well. And I think rather than coming all the way up and over, I might cut the wheel off a little bit, so I'll flatten it out here. This is a look that used to be popular in a lot of cars, but it's kind of fallen by the wayside. When I come back down, I'm trying to stop this line right when I reach where the bottom of the bumper is. And if you want to make a really light line from the bottom of the bumper all the way back, you can go ahead and do that. That way you'll know what your target is. So now I'm going to extend the truck a little bit at the bottom here. And I'll need another wheel. So again, I'm going to go up part way, cut off the wheel, come back down at a slight angle. And then this is going to go right into the back bumper. So I'm going to just make sure that it's about the same height as the front bumper. And we'll connect that. And again, you can put a slight shadow here to make it look like chrome. To make chrome, you're going to have like real crisp edges on your crisp edges and high contrast between the shadow and the highlight. Next, I'm going to make some wheels. So we want some circles coming out of these wheel wells. And another circle back here. Again, if you want to make a line coming back so you know where the bottom of the wheel should go so they match up, go for it. You can always turn that into a shadow later on if you want. Then we're going to make a parallel curve here to make a concentric circle. So we've got our tire. And then go ahead and fill that in. Same thing on the front. Make a parallel curve. And if you're a grown-up watching along with this, don't forget that this is way more fun if you're following along doing it yourself. I've actually had a couple adults recently tell me that they've been following along with this show and they're actually really enjoying it. So don't be afraid to be a kid again and doodle a little bit. It's good for you. So now I'm making the shadow of the hubcaps. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. You'll get better and better as you go. But if you don't start, then you don't improve. And we'll shade this one back here. All right, now we've got the basics of our fire truck complete. We'll want to put all of the important stuff. So I'm going to add where the hoses hook up. So I've made a rectangle on the side here, and inside of that rectangle I'm going to put 3 or 4 circles. These will be valves for the hoses to hook up to. So make 2 next to each other. Maybe put 1 up here. Again, if you live with a 4 or 5-year-old, right now they might be scoffing at where I just placed these, in which case my apologies. So we've got 3 valves there, and then I might make a little control panel thing over here. I know a lot of times they've got switches on here as well. And then I'll just lightly shade in this area. This part of the truck is usually either chrome or black. Then at the front of the truck, I'm going to go ahead and put a light here. And we'll imply that there's a grill at the front, so I'm going to make kind of a curved rectangle right here. And then inside of that, I'm just going to put a bunch of quick parallel lines to make the grill. And we'll make some paneling on the side. Sometimes they've got like silver panel things on the side. Again, 4 and 5-year-olds, I apologize for not being an expert on this. I can almost hear the kids now totally incredulous that I don't know what I'm talking about. And I apologize. Apparently during my growing up process, I forgot about the importance of fire trucks, and I stopped studying them. So I'm just going to put 2 little panels here. This one I'll just make sort of a rectangle. And then we're just going to make lines coming across. And this whole area would be sort of silver or chrome, because fire trucks are usually really shiny. I know in Medfield they'll have them parked out front every now and then, and they're hosing them down. And even as an adult, it's always cool seeing a fire truck getting washed. Something about it. You never quite grow up from that, I guess. All right, now I'm going to put a ladder on top. So I'm going to make 2 lines running parallel, like that. And then come all the way to the back of the truck and make another line coming up that's hopefully still parallel. And then just inside of that, I'm going to make 1 more line like this, also trying to stay parallel. At the top here, I'm going to make a line connecting them all. So we've got that. Next, I'm going to fill this in kind of with the letter N. So I'm going to make lines that are perpendicular to these first. So they'll meet like that. Then inside of this, I'm going to join from the top corner of each square down to the bottom. So you can almost see a letter N in here or a letter Z. So that's the basics of our ladder. And then up at the top, we'll just put the little platform that the guys will stand in. I think sometimes it might even say like the truck number up there as well. So if you want to put a number or your town or something up in there, you can. Also, you can put the name of your town on the side here. I'm just realizing I didn't make a door for our firemen to get in. That might be an issue. So I'm just going to add a door real quick. Just make a couple lines down towards that wheel well so they've got a way into their vehicle. And maybe throw a mirror on the side. So that's a rectangle. And maybe I'll put a rounded one on that as well. And if you want, you can shade in the windows. And then you've got yourself a fire truck. Again, if you wanted a longer truck, the basics of the truck are still the same. Just this line, and this area are going to be stretched way out so that the overall truck is like 3 or 4 times this length. But I thought this would be kind of a fun, cartoonish fire truck. And now that you're done, you could color it in. You can add your town's name on the side and maybe write a little thank you and drop it off at your fire station. I'm sure the fire men and women would love receiving a thank you for still doing their jobs, even though a lot of us are stuck at home right now. So I'm going to go ahead and make a shadow underneath here, and we're all done. Okay, so here is our squatty finished cartoon fire truck. One thing that I forgot during the drawing was a siren, so I added that up on top. Again, your kids at home, if you've got a 4 or 5-year-old at home, I'm sure they were correcting me saying, Mike, come on man, you forgot the siren. I apologize. We've added it. I hope you enjoyed following along, and have a great day.
All right, kids, now that you've finished your doodles, color them in and then share them with both Mike Paige and Medfield TV. We're going to take those images and we're going to put them all over our station. Can't wait to see what you guys make.